Hello everybody, Lurgs here, and today it's a pine Welsh dresser that's looking a bit tired and dated. I know how it feels actually. And we're going to be updating it and modernising it so it looks like this. Absolutely fantastic. And unfortunately the drinks are not included in this video. We're going to be going from this to this. Right, let's get cracking. What you're going to need today is a pair of rubber gloves. These are optional, don't have to use them. Some fine coarse sandpaper and a sanding block. Some sugar soap and some masking tape. Some good quality brand new paint brushes. And you're going to need some chalk paint. We've got this Annie Sloan chalk paint, which is really good stuff. Some chalk paint wax, and you're also going to need a sponge or a cloth and also some lint-free cloths just to wipe down the wax. And here is the list of items here. You can pause that if you want to get some more detail. We've separated the top and the bottom of the Welsh dresser and removed the drawers. Then take your sandpaper and your sanding block. Just give this a really light sand all over every part of the dresser that you're going to be painting. And it's a good idea to use 240 grit sandpaper, which is a very fine sandpaper. If you've got easily removable knobs on the front of your cupboard drawers, then you can remove those. Normally you just unscrew them. Talking of cupboard knobs, if you've got one that's loose and you can't tighten it up, there's a link above now about how to try and fix that. Then take your sugar soap and mix that in a bucket with some hot water. Sugar soap is brilliant stuff because it cleans and prepares surfaces before painting, removes any grease and grime and things like that. Then take a non-scouring sponge, dip it in the sugar soap hot water, and basically you're cleaning every part of the Welsh dresser where you're going to be painting. So wherever you've sanded, this will just make it really nice and clean, ready for painting. You will need to let this dry overnight just to make sure it's fully dry. Just give it a really good scrub. This sugar soap is brilliant stuff. Let it all dry completely, and this is the next day, and look at that, it's looking really fresh and clean. Make sure you put your masking tape on any hinges. And we've got some glass windows on this, so just putting some masking tape around there to stop the paint going on the glass. Then take your chalk paint, give that a really good shake and then give it a stir with a nice clean stick. And then it's ready to start painting. Now ideally when you're painting, especially on the top here, it's best to do nice long strokes. But we're actually going to be doing 2 coats. It requires 2 coats of chalk paint. So the first coat doesn't have to look amazing. As long as it's nice and uniform across the whole Welsh dresser. Just get one decent coat on it everywhere. I suppose if you think about it, someone like Michael Sheen or Gareth Bale getting dressed every day, then they're Welsh dressers, aren't they? But I don't think they need updating. It's always best to use a really good quality paintbrush. Oh look, there's my dinner in the slow cooker there. Looks like a nice stew. Very tasty. Bit of bread and butter, cup of tea, lovely job. So this is the front of one of the drawers. So it's coming on. Get one decent coat on there. And also on the top part of the Welsh dresser as well. Painting it all inside, the inside of the cupboard doors. And again, we'll let this all dry overnight before we put a second coat on. And this is 24 hours later. So put another complete coat on of chalk paint. This will give it a really nice finish. Looking really nice. And remember to paint the inside of those doors as well. already looking amazing, and we're not even finished yet. Just doing the inside of the doors here where we've got the masking tape. And look at that, that is looking absolutely fantastic. But we're not finished yet because we need to do the chalk paint wax. If it's winter, you can warm the wax up on a radiator. That just makes it a little bit more pliable. So let all that paint dry for 24 hours. And now we're going to be applying the wax. Take a fresh, brand new, good quality paintbrush, dip that in the wax, and then start waxing where you've painted. Now this wax is really good because not only does it give it a nice finish, it also helps protect it. So if anyone spills a drink on it, it will just run off like water off a duck's back. We only need to put on one coat of chalk wax. Once you've got a decent amount on there with your paintbrush, then what you do is you take a lint-free cloth and you're just smoothing that wax over, kind of rubbing it in. Just make sure it's got a nice, clean, uniform finish. You've got no blobs. And this wax really makes the finish on this, really does make it look really nice. And I didn't actually get involved with any of this work. My wife did the whole thing, sanded it all down, cleaned it all, painted it, waxed it. Now going to be waxing the top of the Welsh Dresser. It's quite easy to see where you've waxed because it does have this kind of sheen, kind of a wet look. But as I mentioned earlier, it's really important to use a good quality brand new paintbrush. Then take your lint-free cloth and just smooth that over. And you can see here it's really coming on now, really looking nice. That chalk wax is absolutely brilliant, just gives it a really nice finish and also helps protect it. It's hard work all this filming, watching my wife update the Welsh Dresser, and she's doing a fantastic job. And this is the finished article. Look at this, absolutely incredible. We are so pleased with that, because before at the beginning it was looking tired, dated, and now it just looks incredible. Really, really pleased. And then once you put all your drinks on it, look at that. Wow, that just looks so good. Really, really happy with that. And hopefully you'll be able to get yours updated so it can enjoy a new lease of life. And that's what we all need. And I tell you what, all that hard work of filming my wife doing the Welsh Dresser has made me thirsty. Time for a lovely cup of tea. Hello Daisy, new chair. In the top right, there's a video on how to keep your curtains super smooth on the curtain rails. That is a top tip. And in the top left, how to remove mold from silicone without any scrubbing at all. Again, that is a really good tip. And in the bottom left, how to keep your washing machine hygienically fresh. I hope that video was useful to you. Cheers.